Hi friends, I'm Nicholas Acciani. Let's talk backstage. So in other videos, I've talked about both rigging and about the types of soft goods that we find in theater. But what happens when you combine those two? Soft goods are very common parts of both fly systems and rigging systems. And there are quite a few ways to rig those soft goods, all creating different effects. So first, let's talk about how they are hung. Many are tied with a line and grommets onto a pipe in the grid or a batten in the fly system. So they can be flat with fullness or pleated. Flat basically means that they are stretched taut with each of the grommets pulled as far as they can go. When we say we want to add fullness, we usually tie those grommets closer together, allowing a little swoop in the curtain when it hangs, and it creates those vertical lines that we see in the curtains whenever we think about a theater. A pleated curtain will be tied with its grommets pulled taut, just like a flat curtain, but it was sewn in a way that creates the fullness, like a pleated skirt. So that's how they're hung. Let's talk about how they move, which is in and out. When we say in when talking about curtain rigging, we mean that it is on the stage or covering the stage. So it's down, it is in. When we say out, we mean the curtain is pulled so that we can see behind it. So it goes up or it goes out. Sometimes the curtain will disappear, which is going all the way out, and sometimes it'll only go part of the way out, leaving a little bit in to help frame the stage. So that's pretty general. In and out, fullness, pleated, flat. So let's get specific with the types of soft good rigging, because there are quite a few. We have the Traveler. This curtain is rigged to travel horizontally across the stage, operated from one spot, either stage right or stage left. This can be biparting, which means that there are two pieces that meet in the center of the stage and travel away from each other. Or it can be a single curtain that travels from one side of the stage to the other. Simple, right? So is the next one, which is the Guillotine, which is a curtain rigged to fly straight in and straight out past the proscenium. Sometimes it'll be left in just a little bit, creating a header. So while a Traveler can be rigged just about anywhere, you need to have a fly galley or a space above the proscenium to hide the guillotine rigged curtain, because it's got to go somewhere. Or you need some fancy rigging, which we have. A tableau or a Wagner curtain is an iconic type of curtain rigging that starts to get a little bit fancier. This is made of two panels that overlap in the center and are rigged to open from a diagonal draw line, creating a tableau shape. That little like whoop, swoopy. Like the Traveler, the tableau doesn't require a fly galley to be effective, to be used. A Venetian is another type of drapery that looks flat when it's in or down. It might have some fullness, but it looks like a guillotine curtain. But the drapery is rigged to raise in multiple sections that pull up and create a bunched scallop look when they get pulled up. This is another type that does not require a fly galley because it bunches everything as it gets pulled up. Very similar to that is an Austrian or Braille drape, and that's hung and rigged to raise in multiple scallop sections. So when it's down, instead of having those flat or that fullness, it has a different type of fullness that look like scallops. And these are just pulled in and out, creating a different texture than the usual pleated curtain, both while it's in and while it's out. The bottom also has those scallops like the Venetian, rather than the straight line typical of a guillotine curtain. So an Austrian curtain can be rigged like a guillotine curtain, flying straight in and straight out, or it can be rigged to raise like a Venetian. So it can be done with or without that fly galley. Finally, we have a contour. This curtain is drapery that's rigged to raise vertically in multiple sections, with each section able to raise independently. Pretty much it's exactly the same as a Venetian, except a Venetian, all of those points, all of those scallops raise at the same time. With a contour, you can raise them independently, so you can raise only part of it, or you can create a different shape around the stage, framing the stage. So that's all I have on the rigging of soft goods. I hope you learned something, and if you have something to add, or another way a theatrical curtain might be rigged, or if you have a way that you've adapted some of this rigging specifically for a show that you've done, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends! These videos are made for educational purposes. Hopefully you learned something or it reinforced something you may already know. Now, this is just one way to do this, and there may be other ways to do what I've explained in this video, and I would love to hear about those ways in the comments. Just remember to be kind as you share your own experiences and expertise on the subject. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and hit that little bell button to be notified of the next video.